We had to do a little revamp of the homeschool room because it didn't really work for us the way that it was situated. It's the same stuff mostly. It's just that we had to reorganize where things were to make it kind of work for us. So I changed a few things around, starting with this little area here. This used to be my preschoolers' little bookshelf, but I changed it into a group bookshelf and kind of used it for a little bit of storage until I figure out what to do with the stuff that's on it, so that we could have an area to do our group stuff. And he really didn't need it anyway. And you'll see when I get to his area how we arranged it so that, you know, he could still do his stuff virtually the same way, just without the bookshelf. So like I say, over here we got just some stuff that I'm storing over there, containers and stuff that I have to figure out where to put them. They have their pencil sharpener. This we're going to be using for vocabulary and a few other things. It used to be my preschoolers that he would put his themes on, but I changed that around and gave him the blue ones that hang up on the wall. We have this board. I'm not even sure what I want to do with it right now. I have like a million ideas, including like a news board where we would come here and we would just talk about any updates for our class, because we were on a break for 2 weeks. So actually coming back this week, we're on our 6th week of school. Then over here, I just took the boards that were on the other wall over there by my table and put it over here, and we'll just use it as a regular dry erase board. And then we'll use the bottom one for all about spelling. And then I hung up our spelling, all about spelling charts, and I put our 100 days of school and the stickers over here as well, and hung up some posters. So things did change around a little bit. Then I put the carousel here, our group carousel with all of our group stuff on it. I just put it right there next to the pencil sharpener and the pocket chart. And then this here is my cart where I would store all of the binders and lap books that I was showing you guys in the other video about. And our all about spelling stuff is on the 2nd level. Then it's just some random stuff that we'll be using for future lessons in group, stored on that cart. So I will do another video this week to show you how we actually changed up our binders and how we're going to be doing some of our lessons. So if you want to stay tuned for that, we'd appreciate it. Rearranged the boys' desk. I kind of put them by the windows, gave them a little bit more space. On their desk is a calendar. I gave each one their own calendar. They still have their pencil thing. And then they have, now what we'll be doing is the goal tracker. And I'll talk about that when I talk about our weekly progress reports and stuff that we do to keep up with how the boys are doing with their work. This is a fingerprint paint little art thing that we'll be doing this week. Everybody will be doing that. We moved our Islamic studies board and put it in between the boys where there's more open space, and I can kind of just stand there and talk between the two of them and everything like that. They still have their big clothespins, which we're not going to be using for art for them anymore. We're now going to be using them for weekly awards. So basically, when we go over their goals and everything like that, then we'll be putting up awards weekly for things that they did really good in. And then they also have this index card box on their desk. I'm thinking about putting vocabulary for each subject in those cards and divide it up. I have some color-coded index tab dividers. They got their bank, of course, like I said, the goal tracker. My middle son has already been marking off his calendar. I've also changed their drawers around. Not really anything spectacular has changed about that, except for this is now their group notebook. So they have a notebook that they'll use to bring with them to group and everything like that. I think everything else is pretty much the same. For my preschooler, this right here is still stuck on his birthday. His birthday was a few weeks ago. But this is where I'll be putting like his nursery rhymes and his poems and whatever that we work on during the week there are all about. So the weekly theme will go here. I'm actually going to put the 2nd pocket chart up over there somewhere, like between the black card and his posters. so that he could have his ABCs and shapes and numbers and do some interactive stuff. I'll put weekly work that he wants to put up on his clothespin. These came from Melissa and Doug. I got a stamp set that I had bought him from Amazon that had the numbers and the letter stamps and a little ink pad. So when he's done and he's learned the sound and he can recognize the letters, both uppercase and lowercase, then I'll put a sticker next to one of those. It's kind of like a progress chart. We put a shape poster up, a color poster up, and then we have like the number line that came from the Melissa and Doug set. And again, when he learns and can recognize those numbers, then we'll put a sticker to show that he has already learned that and he knows it well. On here he has the baskets that'll be like daily activities that he'll be doing. We have the number stamps. And here we have cards that'll go for weekly activities. These are lacing cards that I got off of Pinterest. I can't remember exactly what Pinterest site this linked me to, but if I can remember, I'll put it in the description or whatever. And we're not going to be using these as lacing cards. We're actually going to be using these to hole punch, so like motor skills. And then we have letter tiles, and we have the letter stamps that we'll be working on doing different activities with. He still has his basket. We got new scissors, more grown-up scissors. He has some stuff to do motor skills with. Of course, he still has his hole punch. He has, we're going to do some color mixing this week, his letter tiles, stickers, and we did get the dot markers finally. So we'll be using those for different activities. This is just some review work that we're doing today. Starting tomorrow, he'll be doing all of his new work. We're working on the letter C this week. And I want to show you a change that I did to the notebooks for him. I actually went to Dollar Tree and got new binders. These are like little poly binders. They don't have pockets or anything, but they're really cool just to turn work into workbooks. So he has this navy blue one, which is for math. And I'll go into better detail when I show you guys how we do his curriculum and everything like that. But here's a little preview of things that we do. I'll go into greater detail on how that's done. He also has two language ones. He has one for his letters and his letter sounds. And then he has the second language one, which is handwriting practice for him. So, as well, he has his clipboard, which is where he'll keep his artwork on here. All of his artwork will stay on his clipboard. And then we have some file folders here with different things in there to help me like reorganize the things. I did like the the expandable file that I had, but this is actually an easier process, and it keeps everything in his area so I can keep up with his stuff a little better. And then over here, each one of them has the file folder, which is where I'm going to put all their work for the year. It's divided by subject, even the preschooler. Then they have their portfolios, which is where I think I'll put some work. And basically what I'm going to do is every year of school, we're going to use sheet protectors and put some work from that year in there, their progress reports, and probably any awards that they won for that year. So this will take them actually through every school year. And I'll file the work for the school year that we'll get rid of at the end of the school year. Whatever we don't want to keep, we'll just shred it and get rid of it and put it in here until we do that. But the binders will be for storing each school year's work, and then they still have the mailbox system, which is where we put our homework folders. I'm going to do a video that shows you, break down each one of my students, how I do stuff for them. So they have mailboxes, each one of them. This is where I put work that I need to file away for them. If I don't want to just file everything every day, I'll put it here at the end of the week. I'll get rid of everything. And my preschooler also has a file folder that says, where is it? He has one that's for weekly work that's going to be filed away. So one of these folders, I don't think I've done it yet, but I'm going to do that, and then I'll stick all his work that he does in these binders. I'll take it out the binders, put it in the file folder, and then put it in his mailbox, and I'll file it when I get to it, because I like to just keep on track with what they're doing. This cart doesn't really have anything special in it. Right now, I'm thinking about turning it into an art cart or maybe a school supply cart. And then the last thing that has changed, all we have is my middle son's scarecrow, but this is actually going to be our art wall. So this is where we'll hang up all of my 2 oldest kids' art and some of my preschoolers' art when they do it. And we'll just change it out and then file it away as we can. Stay tuned, please. Come back and visit us and watch for the curriculum and how I do their work per child, especially my preschoolers, because there's a lot. And I make it pretty simple, you know, especially with him being in preschool and all. Please come back and check us out. Subscribe, like. Please give me comments. I love feedback. Thanks. See you later.